Fischera is the official sommelier at Vernon's Hidden Valley Steakhouse. And, of course, cheers to that right on our coffee mugs. And he's here to tell us what Vernon's is doing for the holidays. Perhaps a wine glass with the word Vernon's on it?
Well, you know what? We have some champagne flutes coming up that have our logo on them. Done by Riedel, which is the #1 crystal champagne flutes in the world.
Very nice.
That we are going to be including on your package on New Year's Eve.
Oh, that's really great. Well, let's talk about these holiday packages.
We have 2 packages coming up. We have one coming up for Christmas Eve, and we have one coming up for New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve, they're both 7-course meals.
Okay.
And it's $85 for Christmas Eve, and then $150 for New Year's Eve for the first 2 seatings, and then $175 for the last seating on there. And it's what you get on the last seating. The table is yours for the evening. You get party favors along with that. And
for New Year's Eve, do you have all the...
Yeah. We have a big band playing in the jazz club.
Oh, fabulous!
That starts at 5:30 in the evening, and then we are turning our sister restaurant into a nightclub.
Calico?
Calico.
Oh.
So what you're not even going to recognize it. So what you do is that after you have your dinner, you can stick around and listen to the big band,
right?
Or you can move into Calico.
Well, are you going to do 2 seatings? Because I know on New Year's Eve, a lot of the time when you make these reservations, they usually ask you if you want 2 seatings.
We're going to do 3 seatings, actually.
3,
and seatings is actually a misnomer, because what we're going to do is time zones.
I like that better. That makes more
we're going to do 3 different time zones. So it's going to be like a 4:30, 4:45, 5 o'clock type of thing, as opposed to 100 people sitting down at 5 o'clock, 100 people sitting down at 9 o'clock.
Much better.
Because the service is better. You can enjoy your wine more. You don't feel so rushed.
That's the worst, when you go out on a holiday and you feel rushed. It's the worst, and it's tough for the restaurant, too.
We're not doing that.
Good. Don't do it. So you definitely want to head over there. Now, of course, you said it's a lot of courses. What did you say, 8 courses?
7 courses.
7 courses,
but
and does that include wine?
But they are tasting portions.
Oh,
so
good.
Even though it's 7 courses, it's really going to be like having a full appetizer, a full main entree, and a full dessert course.
Oh, perfect.
Style of portions.
Now, I think a lot of people are also going to be doing this weekend, of course, at home, with a lot of people coming over, and again for New Year's Eve. If they don't have a chance to get out, they need to know how to prepare their meals when they have a big party coming in. And of course, one of the top things people wonder is, how do I pair my food and my wines? And you are the expert, so help us, please.
Well, one thing is, when you design your menu, remember that the guests are coming to your house. So don't worry about what Mrs. Jones wants to eat and Mr. Smith wants to eat. Remember, they're guests of your house.
That's a great point.
And, it really is a good point, because when I did a lot of wedding designing, people are saying, Johnny doesn't like this or Johnny doesn't like that. And I used to keep on telling them and saying, this is your event.
Exactly.
So the same thing happens when you're at home. This is your event. So getting into the wine pairing, if you get into really rich main entrees, you want some wines that are going to cut through that grease and fat. So, like, as an example, if you use duck, it's lean into your white wines, like Pinot Grigios and so on, or a really hearty Burgundy. Or a hearty Cabernet that's got some great backbone to it and some great tannins. Earlier in the evening, when you're going to be doing your soups and consommes, I am a huge fan of rosés. And when I say rosés, I'm not talking about California sweet rosés. I'm talking about German Alsatians that are crisp and clean and dry. And you
so you would recommend a drier wine than when you're starting out at the beginning of the meal?
And rosé wines during the holidays are outstanding.
Really?
They really are. And then when you get into your dessert wines, your dessert course.
I have to be honest, I'm a sweet wine person. I do like sweet wines.
So do you enjoy ports?
I love port. Port is my favorite.
Now, there's 2 different styles of ports. You can do a tawny port or a ruby port.
See, now please tell me the difference, because my dad and I are big port fans, but I don't understand the difference.
Well, actually, there's 3 different styles of ports. There's a white port.
Okay, yes, white port is good.
Okay, and that's a great thing to drink in the afternoon with your hamburger, with a little wine spritzer.
Really?
It is the #1 style of port that is consumed in Portugal.
Wow.
They drink it like it's water over there.
Well, that's when we go to Portuguese restaurants, that's when I have it.
And the nice thing about tawny ports are really designed, when you buy them, you'll see a 10-year tawny, a 20-year tawny, and so on. They're designed to be drunk at the moment that you buy them. As opposed to ruby ports, when they sell ruby ports, they want you to age them. But no one has patience.
I've been waiting on my tawny port and I've been letting it sit.
Drink your tawny port.
Good to know.
Here's an interesting fact. All your 10-year tawnies, no matter who they make, are more designed to drink with just a touch of chill.
Really?
Very unusual.
Because port is so warm.
Yeah, but most people think that port is to be consumed as a warm drink. It is when you get into the 20, 30, and 40-year tawnies. But when you're talking about, and also your rubies, but 10-year tawnies, you know, they're fresh, they're bright. They just want to touch a chill in them. That does not mean put an ice cube in them.
No.
You know.
That is such bad etiquette, isn't it? I mean, and that's another thing I wanted to ask you, especially when you have people over your house. Don't serve wine with ice, right?
No.
Because I've seen people do it, and I'm thinking, I'm mortified for them because I don't think a lot of people realize some people want when they have a wine, I see that a lot with wine spritzers. When people want a light drink and they want a cold white wine, they'll often put a couple ice cubes in it.
You're just completely defeating the wine on there. Also, please don't put strawberries in your champagne.
Really?
No, it's beautiful. It looks great. It's Hollywood.
Oh.
It is Hollywood.
Oops.
Okay, or if you're going to get engaged. Okay, I understand all that. But don't put fruit in your champagne.
I've had chocolate with champagne, and it's actually been pretty good.
Well, with, but not in.
But not in. Oh, no.
But not in.
No.
Again, strawberries with champagne, yes, but not in.
So maybe you can do the decor. You can actually cut the strawberry and have put it on the edge of the glass, maybe?
Why?
Okay, don't do it. Don't do it. Fine, I learned my lesson. I'm trying to redeem myself here, Tom.
Just keep it on the plate. Just keep it on the plate and eat it, you know. And then do chocolate dipped strawberries. So it takes care of your chocolate and your strawberry.
Solve the problem.
So you're taking care of both there.
So the ports and the dessert wines, of course, that's when we generally will do after the meal.
Yes.
The rosés we would do before the meal and then during the meal. Now, is there a rule of thumb if you're eating, let's say, ham, especially this weekend, ham, turkey, is there a preference?
Well, you know, everybody used to think, you know, white wine, fish, red wine, meat.
Exactly.
Right. Well, there's a great book that came out years ago by a gentleman, a master sommelier by a gentleman by the name of Josh Wesson.
Okay.
And it's called Red Wine with Fish.
Really? Dispel the myth.
Yeah. Bottom line is drink the wine that you enjoy.
Okay.
You know,
good advice.
if you don't like Cabernet, but, you know, your cookbook says, I need Cabernet with my prime rib, but you don't like Cabernet,
right.
No matter how good that Cabernet is, it's not going to work for you. But if you enjoy Pinot Noirs, or if you enjoy Merlots, or if you enjoy Malbecs, you know, drink the wine that you like.
Okay,
you know, that's really important. Just drink the wine that you like because
that's such a good point.
And it's so simple. It's just really that simple.
Well, we get caught up in not only enjoying things, but also having the proper etiquette, especially when we are a host.
Right.
And so those, I mean, a lot of the things you're saying about etiquette as far as what not to put in your drinks, that's important. But when it comes to the flavor and what you're eating, it is about your personal taste.
It is. It really is.
And do you always recommend offering several options for your guests?
No. Again,
really?
Because you're the host.
So even, I know we were saying with food, but even with the drinks, then you're saying don't.
You're the host.
I like it. Saves you money, too,
yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, you really are the host. Now, during the holidays also, don't forget cocktail hour.
Yes. Oh, that's the best part. Okay. It's always the best part.
Cocktail hour is important, okay? Friends come over to my house. Sometimes we don't even get to the dinner because the cocktail hour can dominate the evening.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. And it's usually the best food, too.
Oh, whoops, we haven't had any food yet.
We can get the little finger foods.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And with your courses with cocktail hour at Vernon's, what are you guys planning to do for the initial courses?
Our first course is going to be what we call a chef's amuse.
Okay.
And a short term for amusé.
Okay.
And it's a surprise this year. We're going to be doing tuna tartare.
Ooh,
with salmon roe on there.
Wow.
And we're having lobster consomme that we're offering. Then we're doing a simple seasonal salad. And then into our main entrees, we're doing lobster ravioli. We do have ribeye. And then we're going into the Yule log.
Wow. You cannot lose. You cannot lose. And there is, even though you're hosting it with what you choose, there is kind of something for everyone, don't you think?
There really is.
And that's always
a nice thing, when you get into the main entrees, we have options. It's not like everybody has to have prime rib. You do have choices.
Perfect.
All
That's
right.
what I like to hear. And I wish you very happy holidays. We love
too.
having you around, and we'll see you again for New Year's Eve to talk about champagne. Vernon's Hidden Valley Steakhouse is at 6855 4th Street Northwest, and we are very happy to be telling you all about wine because it's New Mexico, and this is the state you really want to know what you're talking about.
There's some great wineries in New Mexico, too.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.